Bizarre phenomena continue: southern-bound geese, hot water spouting from the ground, and unexpected snowfall amid the three Fu periods. The Hebei Provincial Party Secretary conducted an on-site inspection. Residents were outraged with the official and questioned his visit's timing. People's Liberation Army helicopter suspected to have crashed in Zhuozhou. Over 10 military and government officials feared dead. For money? CCP intensively cracks down on the pharmaceutical industry, investigating 20 years back. Japanese expert: China would not be able to become a developed country because it has fallen into the middle-income trap. It's all covered in today's China Truths. Bizarre phenomena continue: southern-bound geese, hot water spouting from the ground, and unexpected snowfall amid the three Fu periods. We continue to provide updates on the strange phenomena emerging within mainland China, which undoubtedly send shivers down the spines of viewers and raise the question: are the people about to endure another disaster? On August 7th, a video was uploaded by a Beijing netizen showing steam rising from a grassy area, with the steam erupting from several ground holes. Within these holes, the muddy water seemed to boil and continuously emitted hot vapor. The whistleblower claimed that this occurred at Beijing Shunyi Airport Ronghua Park and has been happening since the rainfall on July 31st, with the cause remaining unclear. Netizens are concerned, wondering if this is a phenomenon resulting from crustal movement. Currently, Beijing is in the midst of summer. Therefore, the hot water spouting from Ronghua Park cannot originate from heating pipes. In fact, videos have also recently emerged from various locations in Hebei province, showing the peculiar phenomenon of water spurting from the ground. On the same day, August 7th, a video was uploaded by a netizen from Anhui City under the jurisdiction of Spouting, Hebei province, showing a formation of geese in the shape of the Chinese character ren, meaning person, flying across the sky. There are no known habitats for geese in the local area, suggesting that these geese are likely migrating south. August 8th marks the beginning of the Liqiu solar term, signifying the start of autumn. Currently, it's still the 6th month according to the traditional Chinese calendar, and northern China is in the Zhongfu period of the Sanfu, which traditionally represents the hottest part of the year. The southward migration of geese during this time is considered quite unusual. Furthermore, on the evening of the 7th, netizens captured videos of heavy snowfall in Anping Town, Xianghe County, Langfang, Hebei Province. Some individuals even paired the video with a tune resembling that of the opera The Injustice to Do-yi, sparking discussions. Some mainland netizens commented, "Snow in the 6th month of the lunar calendar, this must be a grave injustice." A netizen responded, "It's not just one or two individuals who are wronged." The Injustice to Do-yi is a classical kunku opera that tells the tragic story of a young woman named Do-yi who is wrongfully accused of a crime and unjustly executed. The opera is based on a well-known folk tale and has been adapted into various forms of Chinese performing arts over the years. As we have been reporting in recent days, the CCP deliberately breached dams and allowed flooding in various areas of Spouting and Langfang, Hebei province, with the intention of safeguarding Beijing and the Xiongnu area. This has resulted in extensive destruction. Numerous online videos depict that following the floods, many bodies have been discovered along roadsides and in fields. Currently, armed forces of the CCP have taken control of Zhuozhou, while simultaneously expelling external rescue teams from the city's territory. This action has sparked speculation that this move aims to conceal a significant number of casualties and the devastating aftermath of the flooding in Zhuozhou. The Hebei Provincial Party Secretary conducted an on-site inspection. Residents were outraged with the official and questioned his visit's timing. Following the receding floodwaters in Zhuozhou's selected urban zones, Ena Yifeng, secretary of the Hebei Provincial Party Committee, conducted an on-site inspection. Residents expressed their displeasure with the official, questioning the timing of his visit. A viral online video caught the event when Ena Yifeng led an evaluation of a residential area in Zhuozhou. The residential streets had been cleared, leaving only a few pieces of evidence of the flooding's aftermath. During the inspection, a resident attempted to record the proceedings on a mobile device, but his efforts were quickly blocked by a man in a white dress shirt, who obstructed the camera lens with his hand. The man asked angrily, "Why didn't you let me shoot? Why didn't you come when there was a lot of water and no electricity? Why are you here now?" He further voiced, "It's over, you are here, why didn't you come earlier? Why suppress my recording?" Concurrently, during Ni Yifeng's inspections of Spouting City and the Xilannu district, he stated his resolute determination to unwaveringly safeguard the bastion of the capital. In sharp contrast to the distressed Hebei Provincial Party secretary, who was publicly chastised during the inspection, Zhuozhou's leaders, the municipal party secretary and mayor, have conspicuously avoided public scrutiny since the flood began. On August 4th, a mainland Chinese netizen used Weibo to satirically post a missing person notice. The amusing post requested information on the location of the missing officials, urgently seeking the mayor and party secretary of Zhuozhou City, who have been missing for several days. Concerned residents want leadership, coordinated aid, and communication restoration in the aftermath of Zhuozhou's unprecedented disaster. Families have lost contact for an extended duration of time due to water, power, and internet outages and have been deprived of assistance from organized authorities. In the aftermath of the Zhuozhou flood, netizens have reacted sarcastically, joking that government officials are in automatic stealth mode and will reappear conveniently at post-flood appreciation ceremonies. People's Liberation Army helicopter suspected to have crashed in Zhuozhou, over 10 military and government officials feared dead. Radio Free Asia, RFA, quoted information from a source within the Chinese Communist Party's military that, on August 5, a helicopter believed to belong to the 82nd Group of the People's Liberation Army, PLA, crashed while carrying officials from Spouting to inspect the flood-hit area in Zhuozhou. More than 10 people on board all perished. The report stated that the victims included a deputy chief of staff from the military, as well as at least 4 deputy bureau-level officials from Spouting City. Among them was a deputy director surnamed Fan from the Spouting City Emergency Management Bureau, and another individual identified as Researcher Lee from the Spouting City Transportation Bureau. There was also a state media journalist on board. The CCP's official sources have not released any related information so far. RFA has made multiple calls to relevant departments in Hebei Province and Spouting City, but has not received any positive responses. One duty officer from the Spouting City Emergency Management Bureau only offered the explanation that Deputy Director Fan had been transferred before this incident. However, according to publicly available information, as of April this year, Mr. Fan was still serving as the Deputy Secretary and Deputy Director of the Bureau. For money? CCP intensively cracks down on the pharmaceutical industry, investigating 20 years back. As previously reported, the Chinese Communist Party launched its so-called anti-corruption efforts in the medical field at the end of July. China's media outlet Daily Economic News quoted relevant sources indicating that in just the first quarter of this year, over 60 hospital leaders or officials from the medical and health system were investigated. Though the industry statistics are incomplete, from the beginning of the year to the end of July, at least 155 major leaders of hospitals, including directors and secretaries, have been investigated nationwide, surpassing twice the number from the entire previous year. Additionally, numerous department heads have also been investigated. The CCP authorities previously disclosed a case where a linear accelerator for medical use, imported at a cost of 15 million yuan, was purchased by a hospital for 35.2 million yuan, with the hospital director pocketing a kickback of 16 million yuan. Drawing on previous instances of commercial bribery, pharmaceutical companies also engaged in bribery through organizing academic conferences, using sponsorship fees, expert lecture fees, and training fees as methods of payment. Reportedly, since the so-called crackdown on pharmaceutical kickbacks began in 1996 and up until 2010, pharmaceutical kickbacks still amounted to a staggering 45 billion yuan, approximately $6.2 billion US dollars, with 80% of drugs being sold through public hospitals. Prominent current affairs commentator in the United States, Tang Jingyuan, stated, "In theory, it appears that this hospital aims to return to a direction where public welfare takes the lead. For the vast number of people in need of medical care, this could bring about certain practical benefits. However, I believe its true purpose is to further detach the medical industry from the market and prepare for it to be controlled by the government." He added, "The root cause of medical corruption actually lies in the commercialization of healthcare, a policy direction set by the Chinese Communist Party itself. This has turned hospitals into institutions holding certain exclusive and specialized resources. Their charitable nature has been increasingly diluted, resembling more and more profit-driven companies in the market. Unless the underlying institutional issue is addressed, targeting a small number of visibly corrupt directors or chiefs will merely be a superficial endeavor. The essence of it is that the authorities, in the context of financial shortages, are engaging in another form of wealth confiscation from the affluent class. There are reports indicating that this anti-corruption campaign will look back 20 years. In other words, retired individuals hoping for a safe landing will find it unattainable. The question arises, can this truly resolve the comprehensive corruption issue within the Chinese communist healthcare system? Former mainland media personality Zhao Longjian stated, "Looking back 20 years is to uncover more money. I know of hospital directors who were already trying everything to leave the country by 2022, some of them have a keen political sense. The corruption within the medical field is corruption within the system and is an impossible task to complete fundamentally. The massive capital in the medical sector has already formed an alliance with politics. For example, the widely spread Putian network across the country succeeded due to its early alliance with military hospitals and armed police hospitals, and its nationwide contracting of retired military doctors' hospitals, which is a well-known part of the Putian network's history of becoming wealthy. To eliminate these malignant growths would be to wield a knife against senior Chinese officials. The CCP has utilized the military, armed police, top-tier hospitals, and collaborated with labor camps and prisons to engage in the illicit organ trade. This horrifying crime, which has been exposed internationally since 2005, involves the selling of organs. Among them, practitioners of the peaceful practice, Falun Gong, are believed to be the primary source of internal organs for the CCP evil organ harvesting system on living individuals. In recent years, the CCP has extended its reach to civilians, Uyghur groups in Xinjiang, and the profits from organ trafficking and transplantation have grown even larger. Critics argue that the self-proclaimed largest anti-corruption action in the medical field will likely not touch the organ transplantation market, as it serves as a privileged benefit for the powerful. Additionally, a netizen shared the story of a sixth-generation traditional Chinese medicine practitioner whose entire family was arrested, leaving only a 9-year-old child behind. This was due to the effectiveness of their traditional herbal medicine treatments, which posed a threat to the interests of the privileged medical group. Each family member was sentenced to heavy prison terms of 10 years, fined 29.5 million yuan, and their bank accounts and assets were frozen. However, the court could not locate any victims. Japanese expert, China would not be able to become a developed country because it has fallen into the middle-income trap. In recent times, the focus in China has been centered around the question of when its GDP will surpass that of the United States. However, a growing sentiment suggests that this day might never come to fruition. Japanese economic experts are asserting that the Chinese Communist Party's unconventional measures have led the nation into what's termed the middle-income trap, thwarting its progression towards becoming a developed nation. These observations were articulated by Hideo Tsuchiya, a respected figure in Japanese media with a deep understanding of economic matters. Tsuchiya's insights are underpinned by meticulous analysis. It is noted that China's GDP exhibited a mere 0.8% expansion in the April-June period compared to the previous quarter, January-March, during which the growth rate was already a modest 2.2%. This is indicative of an evident economic deceleration. This trend is not solely attributable to the lingering effects of the pandemic's aftermath, but rather stems from the swift unraveling of the real estate bubble that had been inflating over the past 2 decades. In a broader context, real estate contributes approximately 30% to China's GDP, and a 20% slump in this sector could lead to a 5% to 10% GDP contraction. The ongoing crisis in companies like Evergrande Group are beginning to reveal themselves on the surface. The article highlights the adverse consequences of engaging in overlapping investments, resulting in diminishing returns, decreased profits, and the accumulation of debt. A prime instance is China's high-speed rail system, which, despite operating for a decade and a half, has consistently operated at a loss. The National Railway Group now shoulders a debt burden exceeding $846.5 billion. Hideo Tsuchiya underscores the precariousness of China's present economic landscape, marked by plummeting real estate values, lackluster consumer spending, and dwindling exports. Notably, China's manufacturing hubs have progressively shifted overseas, exacerbating the situation. Furthermore, local governments heavily reliant on land sales for fiscal solvency are grappling with dire financial crises in the wake of steep declines in land transactions. This situation is exacerbated by a vast network of approximately 10,000 government-backed financing entities carrying a collective debt exceeding $8.465 trillion. Adding to the complexity, the youth unemployment rate in China has surged to unprecedented levels. With over 11 million university graduates expected to enter the job market this year, the unemployment figures are poised to climb even higher. Notably, the unemployment rate among unreported migrant workers is on the rise as well, further amplifying concerns of an economic downturn within China. Unlike Japan, which experienced an economic bubble burst after achieving developed nation status, China, as a middle-income country, could see its development path abruptly truncated should prolonged economic stagnation persist. Moreover, China's present birth rate trails behind that of Japan, foreshadowing a scenario of aging before prospering that is rapidly becoming a stark reality. Back in February 2012, collaborative efforts between researchers from the World Bank and the Development Research Center of the State Council of the CCP yielded a consequential report titled China 2030. This extensive analysis aimed to chart a trajectory that would shield China from succumbing to the middle-income trap, with GDP per capita ranging from $10,000 to $12,000. This trap is characterized by a developmental phenomenon wherein the economies of emerging nations, once they attain a specific scale of prosperity, encounter a deceleration in economic growth that lingers at this threshold. Nations caught in this trap see their export product competitiveness erode owing to rising wages, preventing them from entering the tiers of high value-added markets and advanced economies. The research emphasizes the need for China to execute a smooth transition to a market economy by granting private companies unrestricted access to sectors previously monopolized by state-owned enterprises. However, contrary to this, the CCP leaders avoided privatizing the state-owned enterprises in favor of a plan that aims to increase the size and power of these organizations while also encouraging state-owned enterprise mergers. Furthermore, the CCP officials openly exerted pressure on private enterprises, as evidenced by their crackdown on sectors like education and training. This move had dire consequences, resulting in a staggering number of over 10 million practitioners being rendered unemployed practically overnight, with the disappearance of tutoring positions being a stark illustration of the impact. In closing, Hideo Tsuchiya contends that while China's per capita GDP might position it as a middle-income nation, a comprehensive evaluation considering prevailing domestic and international political-economic contexts, coupled with China's present economic realities, suggests an impending descent into the middle-income trap. Don't forget to comment in the section below to share your opinions on today's topic with us. Make sure to like and subscribe to see more interesting topics from China Truths.